we're going to go over the two drill-looking things that we have on the wall so we understand their purposes, how you use them, and some of the other accessories that go with them. So first we have the hammer drill driver, and it says right on the side. So it is a hammer drill as well as a driver. So you can see those functionalities right up on the top. You can select between being a normal drill for using drill bits, for putting holes in things, and you being a hammer drill, which is for going into masonry or brick. And what that does is it gets a firm grip on the bit that you're using, and if necessary, you can also use the handle that clamps onto the rail on the top. It's fairly straightforward how it goes onto the top there. And then you have a good grip on it when you're going into the wall. Obviously there's the speed selection on the top, the direction selection on the sides, and then the keyless chuck, so you can clamp down on it manually. When you are securing fasteners up on the top in this middle setting, you move it towards the little screw image there, and that engages what's called the chuck, the clutch on the top. The torque clutch. So that lets you select the amount of torque that it will apply to the fastener. So if you're putting something into really hard wood, then you increase it, and if it's softer wood, then you decrease it. And what that does is you can put in a whole bunch of fasteners into the same wood and be assured that it won't drill too deep. It'll stop at the appropriate depth. In terms of the batteries, the Milwaukee batteries all fit all the Milwaukee tools. So you don't need to worry about which fitting which. If it looks like a red Milwaukee, then one of these three batteries will fit. There's the charge button right on the front, so it's easy to see the charge. And when the light's green, it's charged on the machine. So the other tool that we have that looks somewhat similar is the impact driver. So this pretty much has one purpose, which is putting in a lot of screws. And its most notable difference probably is it doesn't have a keyless chuck. It has a kind of fastener that uses the groove in a lot of these bits. So what that does, you pull this forward, slide it in and let go, and that has a firm grip on it, so it can't come out, but it does give it a little bit of slop, a little play there, which means that as you are putting fasteners in, it hammers to get it into the wood quickly, but it also lets it stay in the screw. So while it's moving back and forth, it'll stay in the head of the screw. So again, this is used almost explicitly for putting screws into wood, whereas the hammering action on here would be used for masonry, using specific masonry bits that have the carbide tip. Another functionality on this impact driver is the speed selection, which is sort of different. Right down here. So by pushing this button, you can select the speed. The first speed is the slowest. So if you just want to go slowly into wood, 2 and 3 normal speed, higher speed settings for going into wood. The third, the way they describe it, is for putting self-tapping screws into sheet metal. So it goes quite fast, and it's for getting the screws in quickly into sheet metal. And then just sort of to finish this video, in fact, all the Milwaukee tools, but these two especially are pretty much top of the line, as good as they get. So they deliver a whole lot of power, so you do need to be somewhat cautious when you're putting things into nicer wood that you don't just plow right through it, because they do have a whole lot of kick.